question for men.
You see, I feel like men are no longer interested in dating.
They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that's the case?
Guys, I am so fucking pissed. I've been talking to someone for like 2 weeks. We've had this date planned. It was initially Wednesday and he had to cancel. Sent me this long apology explanation. Rescheduled it for this tonight. Sent me the reservation. I drive all the way here. I get ready. And I've been waiting for half an hour by the bar like a loser waiting for our dinner reservation. Finally, I call and it goes straight to voicemail. Try again, goes straight to voicemail. I call from my Google Voice number and it rings. Call again from my number, it goes to voicemail. So he fucking blocked me.
She calls it waiting like a loser. But let's flip that. The real loser move would have been the guy sitting through dinner pretending he cared. He saved his time, his money, and his peace. And the fact she's furious? That's because she wasn't there for connection, she was there for validation. He cut her off before she could cash in.
I can't wait to get married. And then my friends are like, oh my God, like your husband does everything for you. And I can't wait to be like, yeah, I didn't marry a fucking loser. I didn't marry a fucking loser. Guys, everyone's like, why are you single? Why are you single? Because I don't want to marry a loser. There's so many losers out there. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm going on a first date. This is the fit. Gonna wear some black heels. I'll post this after the date so I can let you know how it went. But yeah. Hi, it's the next day today. There won't be a second date. One deal breaker of his was he does not like structured women. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, oh, I don't like women when they're like, I won't get into your car till the second date. What do you mean? Why does that bother you? He's like, well, you know me, women can have a good intuition. Why can't they not get in my car? I'm like, women have really strong intuition, but they still get killed and raped and murdered. That's interesting that is your deal breaker. Give me another example. He's like, yeah, when women are like, I won't kiss till the third date. I'm like, why does that bother you so much? He was like, well, if the vibe is there, you should just want to kiss me. I'm like, I know exactly the type of man you are. And he also wanted to be exclusive after one date. So, yeah, blocked, deleted.
This is classic. Calls men losers, but then proves she can't even get past one date without nitpicking deal breakers. Structured women? Translation, control issues. And the guy asking for exclusivity early? That's actually a sign he was serious. But entitlement doesn't like seriousness. It craves drama. She didn't block a loser. She blocked a man dodging a headache.
Cheers, because I got canceled twice on my date. I was supposed to go last night to watch the Knicks game with Flower Man. Last minute, he texts me, he's like, listen, my job just got me a sick opportunity to go watch the game in Madison Square Garden. Obviously, I'm like, that's sick, go, do not feel sorry. I'm never gonna stop a man from doing anything that they want to do, especially when it's that sick. I was so chill about it. I was literally about to start my makeup. Thank God I didn't. You know the law of attraction. The more chill you are, the more that they want it. So he texted me, he's like, can I please take you out for lunch? I told him I had a podcast in the city at 1:45. He was like, can we do 12 right before your podcast? To be honest with you guys, I really didn't want to come into the city early, but I wanted to put in effort and try and make it work. Takes two. So I wake up super early this morning. I get myself ready and he texts me last minute. He's like, I'm so sorry. My job just told me that we have a meeting. I can't come. And I was a little frustrated 2 times. I get life happens, things happen, but it's frustrating. I told him obviously it's all good because it is. It's not that serious. But I feel like if you're going to cancel on a date the first time, then set up a date for there potentially to know that maybe your job might call you in is a little rough. At the end of the day, you guys already knew that I was torn about going on the second date. And all I gotta say is sometimes trust your gut.
Notice how she frames herself as so chill and making effort. But here's the truth. He canceled twice because she wasn't priority. And instead of taking the hint, she's trying to manifest attraction with law of attraction talk. Reality check. If a man wants you, he makes time. Period. She wasn't his choice, she was his backup plan.
I have a date in 45 minutes and he just canceled on me. In fairness to him, his dog is sick and he has to take his dog to the hospital. So like very valid reason. But I kid you not when I say I just pulled out my hair. I just sprayed it, got it going, was like ready to go. And I got the text. And do you ever get a text when you're going on a date or you're talking to someone and you just know there's something about, I don't know, something was like, ooh, I feel like it's a canceling text. And it was. And before anyone's like, ooh, maybe he's lying, maybe his dog isn't sick, he did text me earlier in the day saying he was dealing with a sick dog. So like, I do think he's being honest. But now I'm all dressed up and I have nowhere to go. So do I go on a date on my own? I have to leave the house. Like I'll show you my outfit. Really nothing special at all. I'm literally in a black tube top, little trousers, and then I was gonna have a little jacket and then my slippers. But I was, gonna have a whole moment. Anyways, I'm a little bummed. I was really looking forward to this date. And now I'm kind of worried because it's actually the second time that he's rescheduled, and both have been legitimate reasons. Like neither of them have been questionable in my eyes. But now that it's twice, I'm just kind of like, oh, is it an excuse? Either way, I'm gonna try to figure out how to leave the house because I feel cute and I now have no purpose of where to bring it to. So I'll bring it to you first. Said stop.
Even with a legit reason like a sick dog, she's not buying it. Why? Because deep down she knows if she was the one he really wanted, he'd find a way. Women hate admitting this, so they second guess instead. But here's the kicker. She's more worried about wasting her outfit than losing the man. That tells you everything.
I just got stood up on a date and I refuse to cry over this, but this is the outfit that I was wearing. I was wearing this white t-shirt, this blue skirt, and then these little pink tights, or these little white tights with the bows on them. And I honestly thought that like this outfit was pretty cute. I guess the guy that I was going to see did not, because I was sitting at the table and I was waiting for him, and then he told me he was on my street. I told him I didn't see him, and then he had just blocked me. I knew this was gonna happen. I was texting my friend. I always know when things like this are gonna happen. This is the first time, by the way, that like anyone's ever looked at me and ran the other direction, and it really puts into question, like, am I ugly? Can I not see it? Like, maybe someone needs to be honest with me. I don't know. But I was texting my friend saying, I think this guy's gonna stand me up, and she was like, no, he wouldn't do that. Why would he do that? And I could just tell, because like as like I was getting dressed to go, he was like, oh, send me a picture of what you're wearing, send me a picture of what you're wearing. And I was like, why? Like, I felt like that was so weird. Like, he was looking for some kind of validation, and I was like, why do I need to like show you what I'm wearing? And then he was like, oh, I just want to know like how to dress. And I was like, okay, well, just dress how you normally do, like it's chill, right? And then I get there and he's like, oh, don't sit down at a table, wait for me outside. And like, he was running late, so I thought, oh, well, I mean, I can do that, but like, wouldn't you rather I grab us a table? He was like, well, it's as you want. So I was like, okay. So then I end up grabbing us a table because like there's not gonna be any space left, right? Like, this place was packed. I get us a table, and the table just happens to be on the street, literally facing the direction of the way he's gonna come. So he's walking to me, I guess. He's on my street. He's texting me, oh, I'm on your street. I look around, I don't see him. And then I wait 10 more minutes and I'm like, this is weird. How can he be on my street and still not be here after 10 minutes? I click on his profile, he had blocked me, and it is so embarrassing because I had like 3 waiters come to the table and ask me, hey, like, are you still waiting for someone? Like, do you want to grab a drink? Are you like, what are you doing? And I kept saying, no, I'm waiting for someone. And he made me wait literally 40 minutes. This is why I do not like men. This is why I do not trust men. This is the first date that I've gone on in literally 2.5 to 3 months. I do not like men, and this is why. Like, making me feel so ugly. And like, I know I'm not ugly, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why he felt like he had to see me, block me, and like couldn't even say hi and grab a drink with me. Like, I don't know what about me was so repulsive, but man, that just, it hurts so much.
She's crying over being blocked, but let's be real. He showed her the highest form of honesty: silence. Men don't vanish on women they value. And the self-pity act of, am I ugly? Is just fishing for reassurance from strangers online. At the end of the day, he didn't waste her time explaining, and she's proving why by making a TikTok meltdown for sympathy.
I'm going on a date at 8:30 p.m. Is that because he's got a date beforehand, or because he's a working professional in the city and very successful? Don't know, not going to overthink it. Time to get ready.
Whoa! Look at his eyelashes. How could he not fall in love with me?
Change of plans. He just cancelled. Like, literally just cancelled an hour before I was meant to meet him. I just went to my phone to look up where we were going and how to get there, and I got his cancellation message. It's just so annoying. Like, I'm sure it was a legit reason. It's not even about him. It's just like, you make the effort, you go on the apps, you swipe, you try and, stay optimistic and open-minded and blah, 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 blah. And then this happens. It's like, can I just catch a freaking break?
She says it's not about him, but about the effort. Translation, she wants return on investment for swiping and makeup. Here's the truth. Men don't owe you compensation for your mascara. Dating isn't Amazon Prime. Sometimes the answer is simple. He lost interest. The real problem? She's not mad about him. She's mad the market isn't bending to her timeline.
I just turned down a first date I had said yes to. I like that he had made solid plans, but here's a deal breaker. I asked if he was going to send a car for me, and he responded with, "Do you really need that?" I mean, technically no one needs anything, but yes, that's what I want. He said that he's never had a girl ask, which is fair, but ladies, we need to step our game up. Following that, I nicely declined the date, thanked him for planning, then told him we can stay friends. You might think I'm crazy for that, but after going on multiple dates this past year, I realized there are very specific things I need and want. How someone approaches something goes to show their values. If you're not aligned, you'll have bigger issues down the road. And then you'll be stuck convincing someone to change.
Or even worse, having to beg for certain things. I've done all the above and never again. When feelings get involved, it's much harder to let go that you end up settling. So remember, you're not asking for too much, you're asking the wrong person.
This one's easy. She turned down a man who actually made plans because he didn't send her a chauffeur. Entitlement at its peak. What she calls standards is really luxury demands. And the irony? She thinks asking for a car shows values. But all it shows is she wants to be catered to without bringing anything back. Congratulations. She just filtered herself out of reality.
For the last month, my dates have canceled on me the day of, and today was no different. I've been up since 4 a.m. with extreme anxiety, not because I'm anxious about the date, but because I really liked this guy. We've been talking for nearly 2 weeks now, and this is going to be our first date, and I just felt I had this intuition let me know it's not happening tonight. It's not happening. But he brought it up several times. Wednesday, we kind of mapped out the plans. He brought it up last night. And then this morning, the vibe was off. He texted me at 11 a.m. And then I was like, yeah, we can talk about it tonight. I texted him back almost immediately. No response. So then I start heading home at 3:30 because I left a little early. That way I could make sure I could get my dog situated, take him to my mom's house because I didn't know how late I would be out tonight, and get ready. Still nothing. So then I call my guy friend, and he's like, that's a little weird, but maybe he's still working. He's like, you can just shoot him a text and say what time, because we never solidified a time. So I did. 10 seconds later, oh, I think I have COVID. Sorry, don't hate me. You didn't know you had COVID last night? You didn't know you had COVID an hour ago? You didn't know you didn't have COVID at 11 a.m.? What? What is the fucking point? And I know he has my TikTok, so if you are watching this, what was the fucking point? Seriously, why ask me out on a date to just cancel the night of and not say anything all fucking week and talk about it last night and ask me about these plans on Wednesday? What was the fucking point? If we would have gone on a date and it didn't, we weren't vibing, I would have been completely fine. But the fact that I planned my whole day around this and got a babysitter for my dog just for you to not say anything to me, I have to reach out to you and be like, hey, we good? And then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I think I have COVID. Fucking loser, I swear. And not even a phone call or a FaceTime to be like, no, I swear I'm sick. Please, don't be mad at me. Just oh, don't hate me. I'm gonna go get a COVID test. I might be sick. That just means someone more interesting popped up. So, goodbye and good luck.
She's furious because she rearranged her whole life for this date, but that's exactly the problem. She overinvested before he proved anything. And when he pulled the classic, I think I have COVID line, she called him a loser. But let's be honest. Women ghost all the time with weaker excuses. The only difference here? The script got flipped.
Story time. I might be a psychic stalker. I have told you the story about the man that I fell in love with who ghosted me after we hung out for like 10 months, and just in the middle of a conversation, we didn't live in the same town, so we were texting like one night, like we did every night. And he was telling me a funny story. Nothing had gone wrong. We didn't no argument, nothing. Totally normal. Telling me a story, funny story, and he just disappears mid-conversation. And I think nothing of it. I think he's fallen asleep. I think like his mom's called on the other line or something. Think nothing of it. I never heard from that guy ever again. And the nature of what he did for a living before he was opening this business that he was opening while we were hanging out was such that in a highly romanticized version in my head, like he might need to disappear and not be able to talk to me ever again. And so of course that was the option that I chose to believe about the situation. And I just thought, like, I sat and waited for that man for like a year and a half. And I just thought that he was thinking about me the same way that I was thinking about him. But so here's the chain of events that has led me to believe that I am either a psychic stalker or the universe is doing something very, very strange, playing some very strange tricks on me. So I had to evacuate for the hurricanes last year, and I live in Tampa Bay. We were leaving in like a caravan of cars, and Google Maps was doing like this thing, and I don't know if they do it all the time now or this was just like a new thing at the time. They were routing you in real time depending on what the traffic looked like and where there was gas still left at gas stations on the map on the way out of Florida. And we were going over to the East Coast. We had rented an Airbnb on the beach on the other coast. It was the only thing that we could get. We just randomly picked a place, and that's what we took. We're getting rerouted, and it takes us through the Ocala National Forest in the middle of the state of Florida and pops us out on the other side hours later in the dark with it raining in this town where this guy lives, where his business is. And I'm getting nervous. Like, I'm getting kind of like sweaty palms about it. I'm with my kids. My kids don't know anything about him. But I'm getting nervous. So I pull out my phone and I Google the name of the business to see where it is in relation to where I am. And it's right on the same street. And I look up and there it is. Right there. But it's closed. It's like 9:30 at night. And we pass it and we veer off and we get on the interstate. And I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't say anything because nobody knows anything about any of this, you know, that I'm with. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How is that even possible? Of all the places, like we were nowhere near this. It's 2 hours away from the place that we're evacuating to. So that was a strange thing. And I was like, that was meant to be. How odd. Well, 2 weeks ago, I was in a thrift store in Tampa. Again, I don't live in Tampa. I live outside of Tampa. I'm in a thrift store in Tampa, and I'm leafing through the racks, and I separate them, and there is the uniform from his business that he opened on the rack. It's not a big business. It's only in one location. Again, he doesn't live where I live. He does not live in Tampa. It's not even in Tampa Bay anywhere. And there's like maybe 6 employees. I'm like, how did this get in the thrift store? But how did it find me? Like, how am I in this ghetto thrift store in Tampa to find this today? And without even thinking about it, like, it was so weird. I just pulled it back on the rack and turned my phone on and took a video of it on the rack and sent it to his number, like the last number that I knew was his, and said, not me, finding this in a thrift store on a random Tuesday. And he responded right back to me for the first time since he ghosted me in the middle of that conversation and said, no way, that's so crazy. I got married. And I just said, congratulations, like, what do you say? And then we just caught up for a little bit on what I had been doing, what he had been doing that led him to get married. You know, in my head, I'm thinking, you know, something completely different. We get off the phone, say, take care, take care. I have a complete meltdown for the next week. Cry my heart out because I think like I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this man. Like it's predestined. And I finally get over it. Like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But then I get kind of curious. It's led us up to this week right now. Like I get a little bit curious, like, well, who did he marry? All of us would be there, right? I just want to know, you know? I'm just a little too curious. Anyway, I start hunting and pecking around and an address comes up. And I look at it and I'm like, that's not where he lives. That's not even close to where he lives. Did he move? And I look and yeah, they bought a house together. It's on the street that I evacuated to, 5 hours away. It's on the street. I ran past it every morning. I went to the bakery at the end of their street and made TikTok videos. Him 2 hours away from where he used to live, me 5.5 hours away from where I live, about a block away from each other, on the same damn street. I feel sick to my stomach. He literally proposed to her where I sat on the beach. It's crazy.
She calls it destiny, the universe, even psychic signs. But the reality? He ghosted because he didn't see her as the one, and he married someone else because she fit better. That's not fate. That's selection. Women hate this truth. You weren't special, you were a placeholder. And instead of moving on, she spun delusion into romance. He didn't play her. She played herself.